Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Starlit Shelf, where we talk about books, stories, and the authors who bring them to life. Today, I have Beth Ann Bautiste, the author of The Scent of Sea and Ash. Thank you so much, Beth, for being here. I am so
My
excited to
pleasure.
talk to you. I have a bone to pick with you because you gave me whiplash at the end of your book. My God, there so much happened. I was like,
You
what
know.
is happening? And then like you're just flipping everything on its end. It was a lot, but it was so
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
I was
good.
looking through your messages because I was like, when did I start reading it? Because you just added it to Goodreads, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
what were my dates? Because I have to track, right? And I was like, my first message to you once I started was like, the vibes of this book absolutely immaculate. Just the picture that you painted inside of my brain with like the whole nautical theme, I absolutely adored it because I don't feel like I
Yeah.
read too much of that
hmm
in
hmm
in my books that I read, and so it was really refreshing. And but
Yeah,
what's interesting is that the environments change a lot
they
throughout
do.
the characters' journeys. It was really
Yeah.
interesting to see them go through all these different types of environments.
Yes.
And yeah, you were just so
Yes.
great at that world building. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, I'm glad you did. It's really funny because when you sent me the first message, you're like, oh, my Pinterest board's going off. And I'm like, oh, wait, wait, it's changing. It's gonna change.
I know. I did. You should see my Pinterest board. It's really big. I feel like yours is the one that is like the longest because like I feel like every chapter I was like, oh, I got to do this. Eagles. Oh, ravens.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
your book is releasing on the 30th. Is that
On the
correct?
30th of June. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so super
Yes.
exciting. Do you mind giving a little snapshot to the viewers watching about what
No.
the Set of Sea and Ash is all about?
This is the worst question that
I know it
anybody
is.
could ask an author. I mean, honestly, it took me forever to write a blurb, just
Mhm.
like even for Amazon. And then when I read my blurb, I'm like,
Yeah, I know. And
oh,
honestly, it's the hardest question for every author. Stephanie Storm did it in like one sentence, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, that was
oh,
really concise. But yeah, it's difficult because the author just wants to go on and on about their book.
I know it really is. It's
Mhm.
really hard. So, I don't, I guess I mean, really, my book is about family. I think it's
Oh
about
yeah.
family and how important family is to people and what defines a family.
Mhm.
So, our main character, Chess, her chosen brother gets abducted, and she has to go find him to bring him home. And when she embarks on this journey, she has no idea what's in store for her and what she's going to find out about herself and where she falls in the story as it goes.
Yeah, and that's one thing I remember because so I have to read immediately write my blog about the book as soon as I finish it because otherwise it's just gonna like dissipate out of my brain. But that's something that I brought up that I thought was a really cool aspect. So the found family trope is pretty common, right? But
Right. It's one of my favorites.
yours obviously, yeah. So in Beth's book, it's actually like a ceremonial thing called the choosing, and it was just such a beautiful concept. I really love that. That was really an interesting take on the found family trope where it's like these are my
Mhm.
chosen, and it's like
Right.
that's a huge theme of the book. I It just was
Yes.
so cool. I thought that was so interesting.
Yes. I loved it because they reaffirm it every year, like Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it's a party and it's a reaffirmation and they're just so happy, to
Yeah.
be together as a family. And I just
Oh,
really I love that part.
and so there's a they do like a make I'm not going to spoil it, but there's like a makeshift ceremony at a certain point in the book, and then things happen after that, and I was like,
Yes.
Beth, what did you just do? Because I'm really upset right now.
I know. I know. I apologize to so many people in my DMs. They're like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry."
So okay, so her book is called The Scent of Sea and Ash. So what genre do you think that this fits into?
This is so funny. So when I decided to write a book, I was like, yeah, I was reading a lot of romantasy and I'm just like, I'm gonna write a romantasy. So after I finished writing it, I'm talking with my other little author friends that were writing romantasy at the same time. And I'm like, I'm not sure I wrote a romantasy.
Yeah.
And my husband read it, and he's just like, "This isn't romantasy," and I'm like, "Well, you've never read one, so how would you know?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so I don't know. It does have tropes, but they're not, the regular tropes. They're not set up like
Yeah.
regular romantasy tropes. But it does have a happily ever after, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something they're using to define romantasy now too.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, so there's a romantic subplot, and it's a fantasy. And I have one reader who's she's like, this is so cozy. I'm like, what page are you on?
Yeah.
Because
So that's what I felt like it was cozy at the beginning as well. But something that, so obviously I talked to a lot of authors, and romantasy is a popular genre or romantic fantasy. And so apparently
right.
there's differences. And I was talking to, I believe it was Reno R. Mist, but she said that there has to be like a spicy scene by a certain point, and or like
Oh,
there needs to be a certain amount of spice in order for it to be considered
right,
romantasy. And so I'm
right.
like thinking about your book, and I'm like, there's some spicy scenes like pretty early on,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
so that might fit into that
Right,
category. So
right,
I think it might be good to like
right.
categorize that as romantasy.
Romantasy. Yeah,
But
I feel
there's
like I'm
something,
walking the line.
yeah,
I'm
there's
like
something
between
like
romantic
weird.
fantasy.
There's something like weird stipulations and like things that
I
I like.
know. I can't keep up.
Why we get so hung up on it, I don't
I
know.
know. I'm
It's
just like, this is
interesting.
a fantasy book and there is spice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just put that out there. You guys
Put
do
that
with
out
it
there.
what you will.
That's right.
So I really liked, again, I really loved the idea of the choosing ceremony. But so my question is, what inspired the story? But in particular, that like aspect of it, like what made you come up with that idea?
Well, I'm an only child.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
that I know, right? That's what people do. Oh.
Sorry.
So, and I moved a lot.
Yeah.
I actually didn't live in the United States till I was 15.
Oh,
So
where are you?
I'm a foreign service kid, so I'm from everywhere. I was
Oh,
born in
okay.
Paris and lived overseas my whole life. So, or
Okay.
my whole growing up life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that is really what I think it's why I like found family, because that's what I did every,
Hmm.
2 to 3 years. I made new friends.
Yeah.
I moved to a new country. I learned new customs. So that's really, I think, what influenced me the most on that.
Yeah. And then, so what inspired Chess's journey and the world that you created?
Well, I knew I wanted to put something, even though there's dragons in the second book,
Yeah.
I wanted something a little different than dragons. And
Hmm.
I love raptors. I love birds of all kinds, but
Hmm.
raptors and corvids, those are my favorite birds, and chickens,
That's
and chickens, as you know,
okay.
there's a cameo. um, so I had to, develop something like that, and I
Yeah.
just kind of ran with that, and I put in places that I loved. I basically described cultures that I'd lived in and places that I loved, and tweaked them, made them fantasy.
I really liked the desert scenes with the people that they meet on that journey, like all the women and
Mm.
but there was something I want to tell you because I love it when a book moves me emotionally, and that basically essentially automatically means it's a five-star read. But one of the parts in your book that had me like grinning and just like I was so sucked into what was happening to the character, and it was Chess, and it's her first flight,
Oh
and
yeah.
just the joy of that, and like just feeling like at home doing this. And she was like, this is what like
Mhm.
this feels so natural to me. This is what I was born to do. And it's like this pure unfiltered joy that she feels, and it just transferred to me, and I was just like, this is just such a beautiful scene. And it just,
Mhm.
I don't know, that was probably my favorite scene. It was beautiful.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
great. That's
Yeah.
great. So that is all. I was a horse trainer for many
Oh, really?
years. Yeah, and so that is basically the feeling I had when I got on a horse
So,
for the
okay,
first time. Yeah.
can I tell you something? So, have you read Throne of Glass?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know the scene where Aelin is on the horse riding through the desert? Okay. So, that made me add to my bucket list that I want to freaking go on a horse and just totally just go
Mhm.
as fast as I can, because it reminded me, yeah, of the first flight scene, because it's just this
Mhm.
like adrenaline rush and joy and like power, right? Because you're underneath
Right.
this like beast. And I just, oh, I want to do that so bad. It's on my bucket list to just ride on a horse, either like on a beach or in the sand, something like a desert or
Yes.
whatever, and just go. I don't know if I could do bareback, but
Right. Right. No, you probably want a
like that.
saddle.
Yeah, I think I need one because I don't ride horses. So
Yeah. Yeah. You might
um
need one.
so I guess the next question is actually, which character or scene was your favorite to write and why? Which I guess is a good segue since I just talked about my favorite scene.
Yes. Okay. So I can't go into too much detail about
Oh,
it
okay.
because it's
Okay.
it's a little bit of a spoiler.
Yeah.
It's the pond scene
Mm.
with Pearl and Chess.
I was upset. I know. I was like, what just happened? But I like it because so Chess goes through something towards the end of the book, and she kind of hides within herself, and she's
Yeah.
going through a very, very, very hard time and just suffering. And that scene that you're talking about is what helps her to kind of come out of that, which I thought was really cool. But like, I was like,
Right.
wait a second, this is happening, and now this is happening. And I'm like, why is this happening? It's going to ruin everything.
I know it makes it complicated a little bit, but
You're
gotta
like,
figure it
but
out.
I have to have some sort of plot twist happen. We have to have some sort of argument happen.
That's right. Well, there's some twists. There's some twists in this book.
Well,
Let me
there was
tell you.
God, there was the you held true to like the last 100 pages. Like,
Yep,
good.
I did. I love
Oh,
that. I love that in a book. I know some people are like, "Oh my god, the last 100 pages, just give us a break." And I'm like, no, I love the Sanderland idea.
yeah. There. So the one thing that's interesting. So Pearl is such an interesting character
I
because
love him.
he
Yeah.
not only represents the albino community, which is really rare. I have not seen,
Hmm.
I've read of characters with, oh God, how do you say it? Vitiligo?
Oh, vitiligo, and I got a
Vitiligo.
story on that too. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
So I've read characters like that. So that was like the Guild series.
yeah,
I played a prisoner.
yeah.
Uh,
And
but
also in gosh, Daughter of No Worlds.
I haven't read that yet.
So good. Read it.
Is it?
It's so good. It's so good. I loved it. Yeah. It's my favorite of her series. And I read Crowns of Nyaxia, but I love that one better.
Okay. I know it's been obviously it's been on my radar since I
I
basically
know.
started a bookstagram, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
I'll move it up the list. I'll move it up. Is it
Yeah.
an audiobook? Is it like all out? Is it completed?
Yeah, it's completed. It should be on audio, but that's the one she published indie
Oh,
before she
is
went
it an
trad.
indie book?
It was. That's what
Oh,
she
wow.
published. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
She published it indie, and then Crowns of Nyaxia, I guess, got picked up, and now it's
Okay.
trad published. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely read Crowns and Iaxia, but yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
Where were we going with that?
We were talking about Pearl, and we were talking about the albino community, and then I got you off on it.
I feel like I have undiagnosed ADHD, so
Oh, I'm the
this is
same.
happening. So
I'm
yeah,
the
okay. So
same.
we got the representation with the albinism,
Yeah.
but he also doesn't talk, and so
Right.
that's another thing that I thought was really cool about your book is how
Yeah.
prominent sign language is in your book.
Yes.
That was so
Yes.
cool. So why did you include that? What made you think of these types of characters and like this like I mean yeah, where did that come
Well,
from?
well, okay. I'm going to go back to the vitiligo real quick. What had me representing these different people were I was very much moved when I was in college. I worked for a writers and special ed program,
Oh,
and
okay.
we had the most lovely group of people who were challenged in some
Mhm.
way.
Mhm.
And my favorite group, it's like the best 2.5 hours of my week. They came from like a group home. And, there were Downs
Yeah.
folks, and there were deaf folks, and there were blind folks. And the way they all pitched in to cheer each other on, learning to ride a horse, it was horse therapy. And
Wow.
so some of them just brushed the horse, and some of them just like stood by the fence and cheered their friends on, and some of them actually rode the horses. And they were just the best group of people, and they just made, I mean, they made my college. College can be a really like
Yeah.
lonely. When I went to college, my parents basically dropped me off at college, and then they went overseas. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
You're like,
oh,
bye.
yeah, see you guys, see you at Christmas. So it was a bit to find my feet and my footing, and that centered me and made such a big impression on me, and I just loved it. The when I got to volunteer and do that.
That's so
So
sweet. That I love that combination of horses and special ed and people who deal with challenges, and like that's such a
mhm.
beautiful, beautiful thing that probably made them so happy.
Yeah, they were happy anyway. I swear that, I mean, it was like the party bus. That's what I called it when it showed
Really?
up, because you could hear it coming down the road. They were singing, they were hanging out windows. I'm just like, man, these people know how to live, you know.
So speaking of, so Brawny, can you go into a little bit of detail because I'm still kind of confused. Like,
I
so
know.
does he have like, is he mentally challenged? Like, does he have a learning disability, or does he just not speak very much and just doesn't have a way with speech?
I kind of thought of him a little bit more like a non-verbal. I don't even want to say autistic. I don't know much about autism. So,
Yeah.
but something more along those lines, where
Okay.
he basically, I mean, because he knows the sign, so obviously he can't be that
Yeah.
challenged if he can
Yeah.
speak that way.
Yeah.
But he just has, a speech. He's not as good with speech,
Yeah.
but he's brilliant with his gift.
Yeah. And
So
that's a relationship that I thought was really sweet at the beginning. I remember messaging you and I'm like, are they going to get together?
I know you're like, I wouldn't be sad, and I'm like, oh no, no.
I was like, I don't know where Bronny's at and if that like is even appropriate, but like, I don't know. But
Yeah,
the fact that when Pearl sees Brawny after Brawny gets taken. So at the very beginning, Brawny gets taken, and this is the main character's brother, okay, who is challenged with speech and primarily signs
right,
and does like maybe like 1 to 2 word like sentences, right? Okay.
right. He likes to
But
name people. He does
yeah,
names. Yeah,
so Pearl also does not talk. And so when Pearl sees Brawny come in and he just like immediately becomes a guardian for Brawny, I thought that was just the sweetest thing. And it's like Pearl is this person like known throughout the camp as being this brutal man, and then you see him kind of swoop in and take Brawny under his wing, and I was just like,
mm-hmm.
it's such an interesting dynamic of the character. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was a
Yeah,
relationship I really loved, and also Pearl kind of just immediately belongs in with Chess and her family. Like they just
right.
immediately take her in. And
Yeah,
yeah, I just thought that was so sweet. I love that.
yeah. Well, they're all from the sea,
Yeah.
and when you have that culture in common, then you kind of go towards each other. Like, I know when I was in a crowd of people, when we moved to the States, it was high school for me. So, and I walked into class and I immediately found another Foreign Service kid, because they'd had the same experience that I had.
Yeah.
And we became good friends. And then I found some Navy kids, and I found some other kids that
Yeah.
had traveled.
Yeah.
But the people that had grown up in Northern Virginia and, had been through grade school and all this together, I was never allowed.
Yeah.
Well, they stuck together, and I just kind of flittered around, all the different groups.
Hmm. But
Yeah.
it's so nice finding people that have similar experiences so you don't feel
Yes.
so alone. So that's very
Yes.
sweet. Did you have a favorite character that you wrote? Like if you had to
So
pick one.
Pearl,
Okay.
hands
Okay.
down. Pearl is the voice in my head. So he started the story. And he, like, when I was thinking, I wasn't even thinking of writing a book. I was reading a lot of romantasy, and some of it good, some of it bad. And I was like, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. And I'm just like, maybe I'll think about it. Maybe I'll come up with a story.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, within a few days, his voice in my head. And the scene I'm a scene writer, so I just write in scenes. I see the whole scene, I hear all the dialogue, I describe it, I know what it looks like, I know what it smells like, I know what it feels like, and I write it. And
Mhm.
then I write away from it.
Yeah.
And then I'll put another scene in and I'll write
Mhm.
to that scene. So that's basically my process. And so the scene that he spoke into my mind did not make this book, but it is going to be in a future book.
Okay. How many
So
books are you planning for this series?
so books 1 and 2 are going to have all the same POVs.
Okay.
And book 3 is going to have 2 new POVs, but all the people from 1 and 2 will be in that book as well.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah. I
Okay.
called it a trilogy, but that my formatter made me.
Yeah. I'm like,
He's like,
I was trying to think what all point of views did we get in the first book? Because it's Pearl,
yeah,
it's Chad,
Pearl
it's
and
Sarah.
Sarah, and that's
Okay.
it. Those are the
Was
3.
there a Davlin one
Well,
that
I mean, that no,
like a
no, he's
flashback
just no. Well, no, that was just their
intros?
backstory. Yeah,
Okay.
that was their backstory. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
yeah.
So
Did you like that part of it? Did you like that part where there
yes,
was a
yes, yes,
backstory in
yes,
third
yes.
person?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
But yeah, so I was wondering, I'm like, so when you did that though, I was like, is this going to continue on as another POV? Because we got a Dalwin one and we also got a Sarah one that was a backstory,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah,
then, but
yeah,
Sarah was the only one that is that how you say it, Sarah?
yeah. Sarah, yeah,
Okay,
Sarah one.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, my name's Sarah, so I'm saying it like my name, but I don't
that's
know.
perfect.
Um, but yeah, I was wondering if Davwin would continue to be a POV or not, because there was
Yeah,
like a Grand Mirror one, and I think it's the big first chapter, isn't it?
that's the
And
first.
then
Yeah,
that
that's
was
the
the
first
only
intro.
one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That we had Gramir, then we got, and that's basically Chess's backstory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got Vitor Pearl, and we
Mhm.
got Sarah, and then we got Sarah and Dav. Yeah, but
Yeah.
their intro. Oh, we got Fenris and Espen too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They're lesser characters, but they did
Yeah.
need an intro. Yeah,
Okay. Sorry. I'm like,
that's a
so
lot.
we're gonna get all these people. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah,
so what challenges did you face while writing this book?
challenges. While writing nothing, honestly,
That's nice. Oh,
I
so
was
everything came after.
yeah.
Yeah,
All the challenges came after.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was yeah, social media is not my easiest thing, and I know nothing about marketing, and I knew nothing about editing, and I was just like, the person who kind of, she didn't influence me to write, but she's a good friend of mine, a horse friend of mine, and she had written a couple of books. She writes historical fiction, and she kind of inspired. I was like, if I can do this too,
Yeah, yeah.
she does it, I can do it. So she was actually my first editor up until like chapter 13.
Oh.
And then I'm like, you know what? This is getting big. This is going to be, this is actually going to be a book. I need like a professional editor. So
Yeah.
I went out and found it. I found a guy. I was lucky. I found a good one. Someone recommended somebody, and she was great. And I just don't know how other indies do like all the editing and all the formatting and all that stuff themselves. I'm like, I just hear who's professional and here's the money
Yeah.
because
So
I can't.
it's funny because I just did a post about like the cost and
Yes.
what it takes to be an indie author and editing. I feel like editing and the cover are probably one of in my opinion, as a reader, I'm not an author. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
from an outsider's perspective, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
having a polished book and having a cover that will entice people to click on it or add it to their TBR
Yes.
or whatever, I feel
Yes.
like is critical.
Yeah, it is.
And
When I found my artist, I was just like, oh my gosh, because I had a couple of missteps with that as well.
Yeah.
But I got with Summer, and I mean, her and I are like, we're like friends. We're buddy reading
Yeah.
stuff now, and
Yeah. Yeah.
she's
No,
awesome. She's so
I
awesome.
love this community, and I feel like we need to, maybe that's something I can do because I feel like most of my followers now, like I've grown about 5,000 since starting the Starlit Shelf, and all of them are
She's
authors. But I
great.
think that that's something that maybe I can post about and have authors comment like their favorite resources so that other
Hmm.
people can tap into that, because I feel like finding the resources for
Yeah.
editing and covers and everything like that, like what, maybe that's something I could do to maybe help. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but your cover is getting released in 2 days.
2 days.
Are you excited?
I am really excited. I want everybody to see it. It's so funny because I wanted to cover, since we don't know romance, I
Yeah.
wasn't 100% romantasy or fantasy romance, and I'm still leaning fantasy romance, but
Mhm.
I didn't want it to mislead people.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to get in there and say, where's my favorite tropes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
where is the fierce, warrior FMC and the Fae, and no, there's none of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not in my book. So
There's
I
no
didn't want to
Fae.
do that.
But there
Yeah,
is magic, and I
there
feel like
is.
Chess has her own fierceness. Like, I mean,
She does.
wait, sorry, I read so many books. I'm like, doesn't she fight, or is it more? She more of like that uses her magic, right? That's
Yeah,
more of like,
yeah. She
okay,
and she uses her her brain. So that's the other thing that I liked too about developing my characters. I didn't want them to have to learn about their magic. I just wanted it to be intrinsic.
yeah.
And I didn't want it to be complicated. I wanted my book to be like entry level fantasy
Yeah. No,
for
and it is.
people.
I feel like it was really easy to get into it. Like I don't
Yeah.
feel, and there's certain books where, so I still have yet to read When the Moon Hatched, but I hear that the world building in that, I want to.
Very
I
good.
have it. I literally
Yeah.
have it. And I think
Yeah.
that was originally indie published too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. I loved it. I read it. I haven't read the second one. I have it, but I haven't read the second one yet. I need to be in the right frame of mind because it's really
Yeah.
lyrical, and
Yeah.
you have to pay attention. That's not a book that you can be like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And so, but sometimes like I love that, I love the
Yes.
intense world building, but again, sometimes my brain needs a break. And so
Hmm.
it was nice to have something that I could immediately get into. And I didn't. So there's some authors where I'm like, so like I asked you about Bronny. I was like, so what exactly is going on with him? And so like I asked clarifying questions because sometimes I'm a little confused. And like
Hmm.
Reno Armis did like a rebirth storyline. Do you know what that is? So like
Yeah.
it's like having to do with past lives and coming into like other things. And so I was like, wait,
Right. Right.
what's this timeline? Because I'm really confused right now.
Right.
But your book, I think it was, and I'm not saying it's simple, but like it was easy to just
It's
immediately
clear.
get immersed into it and not be like,
Hmm.
wait, what? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
So I really loved your book. I really did.
Oh,
And like I said, the vibes are
makes me
immaculate. I
happy.
felt like I was sucked in every time I picked it up. I felt like I was immediately sucked into the story, and I just loved the collection of characters. I do actually have a question because magic is so Chess and Sarah, Sarah are basically our FMC and MMC. Sarah's our MMC along with Pearl. I feel like they're both
There's
like our
yes, they're
MMCs.
the same. Yeah.
Yeah. But Chess and Sarah go to Sarah's homeland. And when Chess goes there, she realizes that magic is thought about in a completely different way than how she has been taught to think about magic. Can you get
Right.
into that a little bit?
Sure. My thought process with that is perspective,
Yeah.
and again, since I grew up overseas and I lived in a lot of different cultures, like your perspective changes on your own country and how those people see your
Yeah.
country and your customs and
Yeah.
how you see different customs. So, I left every post doing something that the next post people found strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I moved to the States, I stood too close to people when I spoke to them. I was a close talker.
That's something you mentioned in the book too, don't you? Because
Yes. Yeah, you talk really close, right? And I love that. I left the culture where people touched me all the time, were
Yeah.
all up in my face all the time. I mean, strangers played with my hair on the street, and this is just the culture I left, And I moved to Northern Virginia, and,
Like, get
and I
away.
I know. And people kept backing away. And I'm like, what's going on? And I kept stepping into them. So I had to make something that kind of encompassed that for me in the book. And that's what the magic was seen differently where Tess was from than where Sarah was from.
Okay, so that's perspective though, but is the magic
Mhm.
literally different from one place to another?
It is because
Okay.
a little bit, yeah, it is because there is no magic where chess comes from
Right.
the land.
The
It's gone.
the people
The
have the
people
magic.
have it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
And
where
in
Sarah,
Sarah's,
it's the
it's in the
land.
land.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm
So
just
it
making
is
sure that
different.
that's actually true and not something that's gonna be
Yes.
like, oh well, actually, in
Oh,
chess
no, no,
land
no.
there is magic and it's kind of like
Yeah.
corrupted or something like another
Right.
storyline.
Right.
No.
Right. No, no. But that's a good idea. No.
Yeah. Oh, Sarah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Let me write that
That's
down.
so for the last question for our book segment,
Mhm.
what do you hope readers will take away from reading this book?
Oh my gosh. Um, I don't know. I hope that they um can see themselves a little bit in it.
Mhm.
I hope they can maybe not feel so alone
Mhm.
about grief or feelings
Mhm.
of not fitting in or being a little bit different.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, that
Yeah.
was kind of my hope, and I hope they
Mhm.
have a good time,
Yeah. Yeah.
despite
I mean,
despite the last 100 pages.
escapism is always the goal here.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I really liked that segment because again, towards the end of the book, Chess goes through a really hard time and it is having to do with grief. Um, and again, she just kind of retreats into herself and the fact that her chosen family, her found family is the what pulls her out and he has to do it in kind of a harsh way, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
Who's
brutal.
the who's the lady that tells him this? It was one of the traveling wait, with the tribe, right?
Walking stick woman.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Walking stick woman. Yes,
Yes.
that's her official name.
That is
Um,
her official name.
but she's basically telling him like you have to like snap her out of it and it's gonna take you being a little bit harsh with her and kind of
Hmm.
give her her fight back. And
Right.
I really liked that idea. I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool. But
You
and
know, my
also, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say my editor wanted me to change that a little bit. Take out she's like, she says it just feels really abusive. I'm like, it's supposed to be. It's supposed
Yeah,
to be
no,
abusive.
it didn't come off that way to me. It didn't.
Okay.
It didn't come off like overly harmful.
Okay.
I felt
Yeah.
like it was just the right pushing of buttons.
Okay.
I don't
She
know.
I think she was worried about the physical aspect of it when
Hmm.
when
Yeah.
he could see the damage he'd done to her,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh,
before.
yes. Okay. Okay. No, no, no. I know what you're talking about now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah, but like it's funny because like I can't remember exactly what happened, but like I'm remembering the marks. Um,
yeah.
but it never like I never got that feeling of like, oh, like I don't like that at all. You know what I mean? Like I never felt
Right.
like that while reading the book, and so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was fine.
I
I
never
don't know.
I didn't yeah, I didn't feel that way, right? I stuck to my guns on
But
that. I'm like, yeah, it is, but it's not that kind of
yeah.
abuse. Yeah.
It's but I'm also not very sensitive to stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
trigger warning, what? I don't care.
I
Just
know.
let me get into the book and I'm fine.
Right.
So let's move over to the indie author segment.
Hmm.
What first inspired you to become a writer? Is this your first
Read
book ever? Is this your
it is.
debut?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's my debut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Reading inspired me to write. I mean, reading and my friend Karen, who wrote a book so way back when,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, perfect. Yeah.
So was there a particular book or series that sticks out to you as that inspiration?
Um, okay, I can't mention it because really, I was inspired particularly after a book that I really, really feel strongly against, that I did not like. And I was like, really? And I still feel that way about the book. I'm never going to mention it in public, ever, ever. But my husband heard about it for 2 weeks. He goes, I've heard more about this book that you hated
Oh no.
than this
Okay, well,
book
after
than
we're
all
done
the books you
recording,
like.
you're gonna tell me about it.
I
So
will tell you about it. But yeah, no,
and just
I was just so betrayed by that book. And I was just like, this is not right, and
Mhm.
I can do this. If they can do this, I can write a book. That
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Do you have
basically.
any literary background?
No. I as a horse trainer, I wrote articles for regional and national magazines.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's been my writing experience. That's it. And then I have read, I mean, I am a voracious reader. When you live in different cultures and you're
Yeah.
an only child, you live in books.
Yeah.
You live in books, and I've done that since I could read. Yeah.
What do you think? Okay. So favorite book of all time, like if you had your memory wiped, which one would you reach for first? And
Oh no.
what's your go-to book recommendation?
Okay, well, I'm going to start with the go-to book recommendation because
Okay.
favorite book is going to be too hard.
Yeah.
Go-to book recommendation is Kings of the Wild.
I don't even know what that is. Kings
I
of the
know,
Wild?
Kings of the Wild, and it is a fantasy. It is written by Nicholas Eames. I just recently came onto it, and I'm like, everybody needs to read this. It's hilarious.
Really? It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's hilarious.
It's a
Yeah.
funny fantasy.
Yeah, it's not funny. It's it's funny in yeah, it's humorous, yes, but it's
What is
not
it?
like
Kings of the
what
Wild?
Kings of the Wild spelled Wyld.
Oh, okay, okay.
Nicholas Eames. And the man needs to write
Yeah.
me more books. And he's sitting up in Canada not doing that.
You know what? I've seen this cover before. I'm gonna
Oh,
add
it's a
it.
beautiful cover. It's a beautiful cover. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
Yeah. Oh, they're fun. Yeah,
Okay.
they're fun. They really are. The cast of characters are excellent. I just love them. It's like Six of Crows. It's another favorite cast of
Oh,
characters that I
okay.
love. Yeah.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
then what's your favorite of all time?
Favorite of all time. It's so hard. I'm gonna just cop out and go with Diana Gabaldon, Outlander,
Oh, okay.
because I read that series, every book in that series, every year for 10 years straight in the fall. That's my
Wow.
go-to read. And I would just read through, and I read it for 10 years straight that way. And I mean,
One
I
book
could
at a
quote
time?
it.
One book every year?
No, I read the whole
All book.
series. Yeah, as they existed. So I started the first year I read Outlander, and then she came out with another one, and I read Outlander and that one, and then on down the line. So yeah, I
Oh
cannot
my
wait for the
gosh.
final book. The final book is coming. She's released a title, but she hasn't released a release date yet.
Oh, it's not even completed yet.
No,
Oh
not yet.
my
It's so
God.
funny because people are like, I've waited 2 years for this book. I'm like, 2 years? We've waited 12.
Yeah, what are you talking
So,
about?
I'm like, come
Oh my
on, guys.
gosh.
Yeah.
I haven't, so I watched probably five, 6 seasons. I feel like right when they came to like America and
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I got up to that point and I loved
Hmm.
it. That was like when I had my babies. That's what I was watching in the middle of the night when I
Yeah.
took over the midnight feedings, you know what I mean? And so I
Yes.
was watching Outlander, but I haven't been able to circle back and do it because I feel like I have to rewatch it all from the very beginning. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
do you have theories on how it's going to end? Because it's going to be different from the show, right? It has to be different because the show
Oh,
already
yeah.
got their
Yeah. The
last.
show ended.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
show ended. And people were unhappy with the end, but I'm like, if you've read the books, you would have known.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, so I don't know. I think they've aged. I mean, our people, Claire and Jamie, are old.
yeah, yeah,
In these last books, and they've lived a hard life. So
yeah,
I can't imagine she's going to leave them living. I
yeah,
can't. She's
yeah,
not, she's killed quite a few people. So I
yeah.
don't think she'd worry about killing them off.
Hopefully they go peacefully, though.
I hope so too. I hope so too,
Yeah,
but
have peace.
I know, really, just let them die in their bed, entwined,
Yeah, exactly. So
So,
we touched on this a little bit. But what is your writing process like? It sounds like you do it kind of scattered because you're just like
Oh, I'm
thinking of things
chaos.
and somehow you bring it all together. But
Yeah,
is there
yeah.
any other things like a daily routine or tools or habits that you do?
No, the only thing I wrote little notes, on
Mhm.
questions, and I was like, the only thing I do is if I'm stuck, like if I
Okay.
have a scene and I'm writing it, or I'm having trouble with it. Ow, get down! My dog's jumping on me. Ow, ow. Um, and I will go for a hike. If I just can't get it the way I want it, I take the dog and we go and get out in the woods and just think about, I try not to take an audiobook with me just so I can think about what I need to think
Mhm.
about. And I usually work my way out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that.
Yeah.
But if I don't have this, one of the things I notice, and one of the things that's hard for me about social media is I read a lot of other authors' processes.
Mhm.
And because I don't have any kind of writing background, I'm like, am I doing it wrong?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Should I be doing that? No. But I'm
Yeah.
no.
Whatever
Just write.
works for you, I feel like is
Yeah.
what works for you and keep doing it. And so
Yeah.
how far have you started writing book two?
Oh my gosh, yeah, about three-quarters of the way through too. So I'd like to get it out if I can. And this is if everybody's schedule, my formatter, my editor, if everybody, can work on the book
Yeah.
in the timeline. I want to get it out before Christmas. And
Okay.
people are like, I've had a lot of people tell me, you're not going to want to do that. There's a lot of big authors coming with big books. And I'm just like, there's always big books. There's
Yeah.
always big books.
There's
So
never, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah. I'm going to
We'll see.
be featuring one of my friends. She's the inspiration behind the Starlit Shelf. Like she's helped.
Oh,
So I'm doing her book, her debut novel, and I'll be reading it, I think in December and promoting her in January. And it's right around the time where Sarah J. Maas is
oh
releasing.
yeah.
And I remember she was just so upset when she found that out. And I'm like, baby, it's okay. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty much unavoidable. There's so many people that are also
Yeah.
planning on that time frame, and it's just it is what it
Yeah.
is. And I will still like support you in any way I can. I will hold off on reading Sarah J. Maas so I can read your book. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But it's hard.
Exactly.
It's hard.
It
Um,
is.
so I feel like we also kind of touched on this a little bit, but what's been your biggest challenge as an indie author?
Um, honestly, just the marketing and social
Yeah.
media. I don't know it, and I am not computer literate like one
Yeah.
bit at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I didn't get a computer till I was 30. So, and I never took a class. And if it wasn't for a Mac, I wouldn't be on a computer
Yeah. Yeah.
because Mac
Yeah.
walks you through it. But so it just takes me like an incredibly long time to even just formulate some silly little post that nobody's going to see.
Yeah.
And so that's been really hard. I've talked to my other author friends, and I go and I study pages that have huge growth quickly, and I'm like, I don't know what they're doing, handing out candy. I don't know. I really have no
We're
idea.
all
So
trying to figure it out. I feel like
yeah.
anybody that's in the realm of, I mean, it's what I do, and I literally struggle with it because I still haven't figured it out yet, and it's extremely frustrating. And I'm I feel like a broken record because I complain about it all the time. But so I'll do like an informative post about indie authors in general, and they always do really well because indie authors are like, oh yeah, like she sees
Yeah.
me, and so I'm gonna repost it, and like this is what
Right.
readers need to recognize, right? But then I do an individual indie author post where I'm actually supporting this person, and it's like,
Yeah.
what? So what's the difference here? What's happening? And I truly think it's just the algorithm. Like I don't know what else to do. I don't. And so I see this happening on my page, like, oh, these are doing really well. And then when I post about an individual, it's performing badly. But then
Right.
I think about indie authors who are only posting about an individual indie author themselves. And
Hmm.
probably, I don't, not every indie author, right? But a lot of them are probably dealing with this where it's like, I'm shouting to the void, talking about myself. And I feel really weird talking about myself and talking about my book and trying and trying and trying to get people to get
Hmm.
interested in it. And it's just flopping every time. And it's like, what? So how do we fix this? And this is something that I'm still trying to figure out. I've complained about it. And then the
Yeah.
next individual indie author post that I did, took off, and I was like,
Oh,
so do I just have
huh.
to whine more? Like,
I
I
know.
need
Do
to
we
just like,
complain?
do I need to complain and like call
I
people out and be
know.
like, why is no one doing this? Like,
Right, right. Well, I've seen like other, like a couple of my other little indie author friends, and they'll band together,
yeah,
and then they'll push each other's books, they'll
yeah,
repost each other's posts and stuff like that. And I'm like, again, because my book isn't quite what they write,
yeah, yeah,
I haven't found a little band of thieves to go around with,
yeah.
that have a book that's a little bit different.
So what, so this is your biggest challenge, but has anything helped you? Like, what have you done to kind of navigate around this issue?
Oh, well, honestly, around the issue, I don't know, but I have met so many wonderful people. I mean, I've written one into my acknowledgments, several into my acknowledgments
Yeah,
actually, because they have just been so wonderful. Like I can pop into their DMs and go, okay, I'm trying to upload my book
yeah,
onto Amazon and
yeah,
it's saying this, or how did you do it? And they've just been the best. I mean,
mhm.
I shout out Miles Lyon all the time because he's another one that's he wrote a really good grimdark fantasy, but it's pretty gritty. So if
Yeah.
that's not your bag, don't don't read it.
I
Um,
feel like I'm pretty accepting of all genres. I just probably won't read nonfiction.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
Why?
yeah,
There's too
okay.
much real.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got real.
I know.
We don't need
We
more
get
real.
enough of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that that's the beauty of the Bookstagram community. I mean, yes, there's drama out there. Thankfully, I don't deal with it. I don't see it. But
Yeah.
um like I have a collection of people that I call my ride or dies, where no matter what, they're like my little cheerleaders. Like they're the ones
Hmm.
when I do those individual indie author posts, they're reposting it. Like they're the ones that are always there. Like I have like a group of maybe like 20 to 30 people that are
Hmm.
just always there, always cheering me on. And
Hmm.
when times get tough, it's really nice to be that that you have those people in your corner.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And it's funny because I have a few author friends, but I have a lot of artist friends because I love art and I love
Yeah.
supporting artists. So
No.
no, no,
What?
no.
What's behind you?
Oh, I don't like art at all. This room, I'm running out of wall space actually, and Carolyn's doing more character art for my next one, and I'm like, okay, and then I'm gonna have to move these over and put. So
I love the pencil sketch of Pearl and
yeah,
Chess. I do. That
yes,
is
yes, and then
absolutely
that's
amazing.
this one's got a thing on it, but it's
Is that
Dav and Sarah. Yeah,
oh
and then
wait, can
I've
you
got Levy and Bronny up there.
there's like a reflection on Dev and
I
Sarah. Can I
know.
see Sarah?
Here, let
I
me
wanna
see.
see
He
Sarah.
is a stud.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I
Can
love
you
me
see
a
it
man
now?
bun. Give me a
Oh
man bun
yeah.
all day, baby.
I
I love
had to
that
have a
stuff.
man bun. I was laughing so hard when she's like, "So do you want to?" I'm like, "There has to be a man bun." You know.
Yeah, Cassian's my favorite Akatar male, and I think it's primarily because, well, I'm an Aries, so he's like the god of war in my
Yeah.
eyes. He
Yeah.
also has a man bun, so I'm just like, I love you.
Right. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, Carolyn gave Bronny an earring and I didn't have that in the book. I'm like, I should have put
Oh,
that in the book. It was awesome. Because I just described, she hasn't read the book. She's got my arc, but she's a super busy gal. So
oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully
Hasn't read
she'll
it
read
all the
it.
way yet, so she's like, I'm just gonna
No.
add a little charm
I
over
know
here.
she before she even had the book, she drew these for me because I had to get in on her schedule.
Yeah,
So
that character art is so good. I feel like I've seen you post it a couple times, but I might have to like add it to like my thing and repost it because
yeah.
I do love those pencil sketches. Those are so pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty. And Summer did some beautiful color. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've got a lot of good art.
I was so it's on Goodreads. You know that, right?
I know, I know, I know.
Okay, I was
It's
like,
on good.
oh, I was like, does
No,
she?
no, this is so funny because it's just like I'm doing my big cover reveal, but I was sneaking it on these other sites because I'm so bad at it. And it takes me a freaking day to get any of this stuff done. Like
I
I'm
promise
like,
you, I'll probably be the only one to notice it. Okay, like it's only me because I'm like, when is she adding it? And when can I add it to my read list? Like my already read list because I need to update my list. I need to
yeah,
update it if I don't have a little check mark on my little, you know what I mean?
right
So I'm
on
like,
your
I was like,
thing.
let me see because I was like, I'm getting ready for your interview, and I'm like, I need to look and see if she's added it yet. Oh, she
Yeah,
did. Oh, it's a
yeah.
cover.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I didn't want to add it till I had the cover, and then I was just like, okay, this is going to go up before the cover. No, it's all right.
So this won't come out until after it's already out. So people
Yes,
won't be
yeah.
able to be
So
like,
it
oh,
won't
go on to
matter.
Goodreads and I can figure it out. Yeah. So don't
Right,
worry.
right. Don't have to worry about that.
Yes. So
Yeah.
what has been your proudest moment as an author so far?
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a hard one too. My husband was jumping around when we had the actual, book loaded, like we were looking at
Mhm.
it, the proof of it on Amazon. And he's just like, look at this. I mean, this is like an actual book. So he was having a moment. And I am honestly, I don't know. I don't have a proudest moment yet. Maybe it wasn't even
I
like when
feel
I
like maybe
finished it.
not yet. Maybe
Not
not yet
yet.
because you're about to release it. Your cover hasn't been
Yeah.
revealed yet. Like you have a lot of big moments coming up, but
Yes.
having a supportive partner like that and seeing them
Yeah.
being so proud of you, it's a
Yeah.
big deal. And also, I just noticed your necklace. Love
Oh,
it.
he got this for me when I started writing the book. And I was like, yeah,
You
yeah.
bought that
So
for yourself. That's really sweet.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He's just like, he's like, well, if that's symbolism, I can do that. So
oh,
he
I
got it for
love
me. Yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah.
also really interested to see where her magic takes her, that other magic,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
really
yeah.
interested. Sorry, it just reminded me of that. I'm going off
Yeah,
topic.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
that's all right.
I'm really interested to see where she goes with that for book two because it's like I think at some point I'm sorry I read like four books at the same time, but
Yeah.
it's like a highly coveted thing that hasn't been seen in a long time, right?
Right. Only her and Sarah have it.
Right, but is this the one where it's like it hasn't been seen in centuries?
Yeah, centuries.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Like, is this
Yeah,
the
yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It hasn't been seen in centuries. And she, and even though those two possess the same gift, it's different. Like it manifests differently.
Interesting.
As far, yeah, like, she, well, I can't give away
Yeah,
too much. It's like I'll give everything away. But anyway, it's
but
different. So she,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm really interested to see where that goes. And
yeah,
also for is it wielding beast mask
yeah,
like beast
yeah.
wielding?
Beast wielding.
Uh, and where Sarah lives, like I'm interested to see if that happens with a dragon, possibly.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I'm not gonna. Don't tell me anything. I don't want to know. But I am curious. So
Yeah.
do you have any advice for aspiring indie authors?
Oh, yeah. Just do it. Just do it. I mean,
Nike.
honestly, that's the advice. Is true. Just be like Nike.
Yeah,
Be like Nike. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Don't let it put you off because that's the other thing. There's quite a few people that I follow, and they're just like, it's taken me 8 years. It's taken me 10 years. And I'm afraid to start the journey, and I haven't. And I'm just like, or I don't want to put it out there, and I'm just like, well, then it's going to be another 10 years that it sits in your drawer or on your
Yeah,
computer or whatever. So just freaking do it. Make up your mind and do it, and then figure it out along the way because
yeah.
that's really, I mean, that's the way I do things.
That's
You know,
something that, and I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about myself, but this is my
that's
experience. So,
fine.
like, starting the Starlit Shelf, I literally had no idea what I was doing, and I was taking a big risk. And like, I took on all these authors for free, and like started doing it
Mhm.
just to get my name out there. And then switching over to monetization, I was absolutely terrified. I was so scared. I thought I was going to have to delete my Bookstagram because people were going to cancel me. I was so scared. And again, I feel I still am learning so much and I'm so new to this. But after doing it and just taking that leap, the support that I got from readers and authors alike was just absolutely incredible. And it's like, even if something bad happens, for instance, you forget to hit record on like an exclusive interview that you have, okay, that you were really excited about, and completely forgot to record the whole thing. You learn something from it. And now I am
Right.
never going to not record again. Uh, but it's like, do the thing that you're excited for and that scares the crap out of you
Yeah.
because you're going to learn so much. You're going to figure out that you actually, it's not as scary as you thought it was going to be.
Hmm.
And you're going to see just how immense the support is that you have and the people around you who are going to be cheering you on. It's, again, it's terrifying, but worthwhile.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. It is. And I mean, you're never going to know. Is that just going to be something you're going to wish you did? I mean,
Yeah.
just,
And life
I
goes
can't live
by
like that.
way too fast. Life happens
Yeah,
way too fast for us to
it's
live
true.
in fear of, the unknown and not take risks that, like, because I feel like I'm a very anxious thinker, and so I'm like always worst case scenario. Like I
Same.
say I'm going to monetize, and I think I'm going to literally have to get rid of my entire thing because everyone's going to hate me, and
Right.
nobody said anything like that to me. It was all
Right.
just love and support, and it's like, wow, everything went right rather than going wrong, and it's like, so,
Right.
you know
Right.
what, you might surprise yourself.
It's
So,
true. It's
yeah,
true. I'm the same thing. I'm a big overthinker. Too much Virgo in my Leo.
yeah.
Really too much. And I'm just like a bit. I'm
Go
like,
in my
oh.
Leo.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your sign?
So,
What's your sun sign?
my son. Well, I'm a Leo actually, and then but all my houses and everything are Virgo. Everything
Okay.
rising and setting and everything else is Virgo.
Really?
Yeah, it's
So
horrible.
the only thing oh my gosh, that is
Yeah.
hilarious. So I have to
Yeah.
say, one of my favorite, well, not my husband, my husband's Scorpio, but my favorite boyfriend that I ever had before my husband was a Leo. And I felt like me and him
Oh,
just meshed. So I'm an Aries. So like
oh
fire
yeah.
sign.
So
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we're
It's gonna
homies.
work.
We're homies in the fire sign.
Right.
Anyways,
Exactly.
so we're actually getting to the end. I feel like this has gone quickly.
It
Uh,
did.
so where would you suggest that readers connect with you? How can they best support you?
Oh my goodness. Please like and follow and share everything I put on my Instagram.
Help
I'm
me.
on, I don't, please help me. And TikTok, I mean, TikTok is such a shit show. I just can't. I mean, I just
Oh,
post over there and then I run away. I don't even know over
I
there.
don't. I completely deleted my TikTok. I tried it and I was like,
Mhm.
I can't. I can't.
It's
This
the Wild West.
Instagram
Yeah.
is my place. That's it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
That's
you
me
have an
too.
Instagram, you have a
I have
TikTok.
a, I have a author website.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you have
And
like a newsletter or
I
anything
don't.
like?
I'm
Okay.
working on it. I mean, I'm getting around to it. I don't even know how to like encourage people to want my newsletter. I mean, put like spoilers for, or put
Yeah.
stuff from book two. Maybe I don't know
Yeah.
because I'm just like I hate newsletters. I mean,
Mhm.
I've signed up to a couple of my favorite authors, and
Yeah.
I see it come across, and I kind of read the first part, and then I'm like, delete. Okay, it's not a book
Yeah.
announcement, or so I don't know. I feel kind of weird about that, but everybody says I need one. So
I have one too, and I'm starting. So it's part of. So I have actually like 200 subscribers to it, which I think is like, wow, I actually have
yeah,
200
that's
subscribers.
great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just another way to like platform authors. So like it's another way of getting. So if these people didn't see my post about Stephanie Storm, then they're gonna show up in that person's inbox, and you're gonna get to read
Oh,
about her and her
that's
book.
it. That's true. Yeah.
So I think that's having multiple platforms, I think is really good for like these kind of crossovers and getting to the people that may have missed it in another way.
True.
You know what
In
I mean?
another way.
So Beth, where can readers find your book?
They can find it on Amazon right now on Kindle,
Okay.
Kindle. And I think that populates with, Barnes and
Yeah.
Noble and other different things like
Yeah.
that. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm not sure. So
So like
and
Barnes and Noble online. Is
yeah,
that
Barnes and Noble, yeah,
okay?
yeah, things like that. That's what my understanding. If it's not right, I'm sorry. Just it's on KDP. So and it
Yeah.
will be on Ingram. I'm gonna do something on Ingram soon, and then I may have a few that I'll sell myself if I do the hardback.
Okay.
But I haven't decided. I haven't gotten there
Uh,
yet.
do you think you want to do like a special edition or an audiobook for the Tennessee Nash?
Oh, there is an audiobook. I'm sorry, they're taping it right now. Yeah, there's going to be one. Yes, yeah.
Do you have, so
Sorry.
they're making it right now?
Yeah, they're making it right now. They're taping now.
So you said they, is it a dual narration?
It's duet. Yeah. And I've got some good people. So
Great.
I can tell you
Yeah.
because it's going to be out. So Jessica Feet is
Okay.
Chess. She has
Okay.
all the female voices, and then Ash Beverly, who is big yeah, he's big in the romance reading.
Okay.
He reads a lot of spicy books.
Yeah. Is there something that we might know these people from?
So Jessica read, she read with the guy that Elemental Awakenings, which is another
Oh,
indie book,
yeah.
but she read with the I can't remember his name. You mentioned him. He was Zayden, I
Oh,
think.
Gabriel Michael.
Yeah, I think it's Gabriel Michael. I think she read with him
Okay.
for Elemental Awakenings.
Okay,
And
cool.
she's everywhere. Like she's done some Dungeon Crawler Carl and different things like that. She's
Oh, really?
really, really fun. Yeah, she's done some
Oh,
really fun stuff. Yeah.
I need to read that
Yeah.
book. I've heard so much about that. I need to read
Me
that.
too. I
Okay.
do too. I haven't, but I will. I
Okay,
will.
so who's Ash? Ash is, how would we know
So
him?
he doesn't show his face. So if you ever see him in an interview,
Oh,
he's wearing a masquerade like mask, which is kind of neat.
I
But
love
he
that.
reads, yeah, he reads some pretty spicy stuff. I don't. I
What's
guess it
his
was
name?
to
Ash,
be
what's his last
romance.
name? Ash what?
Beverly, Ash Beverly.
Ash
Yeah,
Beverly.
yeah.
I'm gonna look him up. Ash Beverly. Let's see.
You should watch some of his interviews. He's hilarious, and I love
Yeah.
him. I mean, I talk to him almost every day on DMs and Insta. We cut up. He's like my little, you know.
He did Pucking Around. So
Yes, yes.
that's well known. I haven't read
Oh,
it,
okay,
but
okay.
like
I
it's
haven't
a
either.
hockey romance. So
Yes, yeah. He does a lot of hockey romances. He does cowboy romances. He does a lot of
interesting.
romance.
Yeah, I see a lot of like dark and spicy on here. Cool.
Yes.
Well, that
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
nice.
It'll be very nice. He's got the best voice. Oh my God. When I heard him read, because I had to you have to send off your
Yeah.
little pieces
So
for them to read.
that's actually something I'm going to post about too, because I just got done with the narrator interview and with Harriet Ashford. And so I asked Harriet, I was like, what's the process like for getting an audiobook? And she was talking about like casting and engineer
Uh-huh.
edits and stuff like that. So that's going to be another like informative post I'm going to be doing. So I'm
Yeah.
interested to hear. I'll probably send you a voice note or something, but I might want to pick your brain a little bit about that if you don't
Sure,
mind.
sure. Yeah. Oh no, it was easy for me. I'm just like, I like this voice and I like this voice. And
Yeah.
here, let's see if we can get them working together. So
I like you and I like you. Let's put you
yeah.
together. Let's see how it
That's
works.
right. You guys are perfect. Well, my husband actually is a commercial editor. So I was like, worst case, he can do all the mastering. But I
Yeah,
didn't need to do that.
that's nice. Yes, but just in
Yeah.
case, you never know.
Just in case. You never know if somebody's busy.
Do you have any final words or messages for readers?
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you like my book. That's
Oh,
that's my final words.
feel like it's easy to love. I really do. Like
Oh,
I just absolutely love that world. I think that was the highlight for me is just how immersive it felt to me and how like I just instantly got sucked in. I absolutely loved it. Yeah. So I
oh,
love it
good.
personally. And I think if people like romantasy, fantasy,
Yeah.
found
What
family,
book?
I think well, go ahead.
What book does it remind you of? Like, how people do comps. I mean, and I had Shannon give me some good comps from Buffalo Book Bestie. She read it. And I don't, but I have trouble. See,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I could do a comp.
yeah.
Because like
But if
it's
somebody
funny
likes
because
something,
yeah, it's funny because like with Stephanie Storm, I was reading her book and I was like, oh, this is like the movie Seven mashed with Constantine and Dexter, and I'm like, it like immediately came to my brain, and it's like with yours,
right?
I feel like it was pretty unique. And
Yeah.
it's I wouldn't say it's cozy because then I would be like, oh, like the spell shop or the greenhouse, like
Right. To me,
books
that's
like that.
cozy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's cozy to me, or like the Secret Society of Irregular Witches, right? Like I love those books.
Right.
But that
Right.
wasn't the vibe for me.
Mm-mm. I know it's hard.
So
Because
I
I was
want
like,
to
well,
say, there was a sci-fi book that I read, which I know this is not sci-fi, but it was like sci-fi fantasy, but it was like the fourth portal, but it was like a group of people traveling across the world and these characters kind of coming into their own and discovering more. It was more like discovering more about like their world and like things that have been hidden from them. And so it
mhm,
wasn't necessarily all self-discovery. It was really like largely towards that. But I feel like that
right.
journey aspect of it
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of that. But yeah, I feel like nothing really and that's not a bad thing either. I feel like that's good
Yeah.
because we want more unique stories, and that's something that I kind of like hone in on when I talk about indie versus trad. I feel like
Hmm.
with indie books you get a little bit more unique stories because trad always picks up the things like the formulas that are working really well right now. And so,
Right, right. Book sales. Yeah,
but
yeah.
like the flying thing, like it reminded me of like Manon on her wyvern, right? So like on
Hmm. Hmm.
Rassos, and so that part was reminiscent of that. But I'm like, is it like through in a glass? Not really at this point, because like they're like gearing up for like war and like things like that. And I'm like, I don't think that's quite happening. But
Right, right.
there is, I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
I can't think of anything.
yeah,
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think that that's good.
right.
I think that that's
Yeah,
good. And a lot of people, comping, I feel like can be kind of not controversial, but like
right.
some people
It
don't
was,
like that.
yeah, it was explained to me as like, this is just to try to, get readers. It's not really, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Comping doesn't mean anything. You can, but if they like this, they might like this. And that's how
Yeah.
you should comp. So one of the things I thought of, because it was just something where I learned to love the kind of story that I wrote. So to me, my story is a small story in a big world.
Yeah.
You're following a group of people,
Hmm.
and you're following, and it's just their story. And
Hmm.
that is like Star Wars to me, because Star Wars
Oh,
was like my bag. When I was
okay.
a kid, I begged people. I'm like, I saw it probably 10 times when it first came out. And I'm still a Star Wars fan to this day. So
Yeah.
that's why I loved it. You got to follow this
Hmm.
group of people, and this is
Hmm.
huge story, but
Hmm.
it's just what's happening to them. And
Yeah.
that's always been my favorite kind of story.
I think that so when I start to promote your book, I feel like I'm not going to do like a comp because I've done that before, but I
Hmm.
feel like I'm going to be more focusing on the vibes of the world and also the tropes, especially the found family. Like that part was just such a big part of this book
Yeah.
and such a great message that, even if you don't know or don't get along with the people that are your blood family, like you still have the ability to create a group of people that are your support system who love you and surround you,
Hmm.
even if they're not your blood relatives. And it's just such a beautiful
Right.
thing. So I
Yeah.
I love that. Do you
Good.
have any teasers? I feel like we got a cover reveal coming out. You got your book
Yeah.
release, but anything else coming up?
No, other than that and the audiobook, that's kind of a little teaser.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah.
Cannot wait for the audio. Are you going to plan on doing that for book two?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait because because I don't know if we'll work together again, but when book two comes out, I'll probably be listening rather than reading. So that
Oh,
will be
sure,
fun. I'm
sure.
excited. All right,
Yeah.
you guys. Well, don't forget to check out The Scent of Sea and Ash coming out on June 30th and audiobook to be determined.
Right. Soon
Right.
after. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you want to hear more from indie authors and discover more hidden gems, be sure to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, happy reading.